Righty-ho, fellas, we are back with another football shirt video, some leaks for the upcoming 25-26 season. But before we jump into that, I'll try to say a massive thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Didn't think we'd get here, just making these videos for a bit of fun, but I can see that people enjoy them, so I'm going to keep doing it. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers, and yeah, let's just jump into these leaks, shall we? We're going to start off with Arsenal, and this is supposedly their 25-26 home kit. And to be honest, I'm quite a fan. I can't lie. So this is the supposed design that we are going to see. It's got their Gothic A design throughout the body of the shirt, which I think is something very nice. I'm a big fan of that design element from Arsenal. I think it looks lovely. And then it's going to have a mono badge, full badge, not just the cannon, and then obviously a classic Adidas and Emirates sponsor. I think it looks really nice. To be honest, big fan of this. It's better than the shirt they've got this season for sure. And yeah, I'm just a big fan of that Gothic A design that they've started to use on more of their merchandise. I think it's very nice. I guess a thumbs up from me, or an okay from me. Then going to move on to Villa, and this is the supposed shirt they are going to be receiving. There's a fake shirt here based on the prediction that they have made. I think it's looked pretty good though. Again, it's very basic, very similar to the current shirt they've got, and it looks like the Holt end from Villa Park in the body of the shirt, which is a very interesting design choice, but I do rate it, to be fair. And then it's just some extra gold elements alongside the claret and blue, which, you know, is fair enough. It looks pretty decent. Like I said, interesting design choice, but if pulled off correctly, could look very nice. But I'd save my judgment until we see some official pictures of the shirt. You know what? I like it. It'll be very interesting to see how they pull it off. But for now, it's decent. So Aston Villa have become one of Adidas's new elite teams in the upcoming season, and through that they get the trefoil on their third shirt, which is something I'm very jealous of. And this one is supposedly to pay tribute to stained glass, allegedly. We've got two different design predictions here. I do like this kind of partial one on the left. I can see the appeal in the right one with a full stained glass across the whole body of the shirt, but I do think it looks quite good with just partial stained glass on here as well. Maybe if they made like a lion design out of the stained glass with bits missing and things like that, could look pretty cool. I'm not sure. But yeah, they're getting a trefoil, which is going to look sick. And I imagine the shirt would sell quite well. But the Betano sponsor just ruins it once again. So, you know, can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. But if we got rid of the betting sponsors, it could look much better. Yeah, trefoil is going to be sick. And I'm very jealous. Moving on to Chelsea now, and this is the supposed home shirt they're going to be receiving. I think it looks pretty cool, to be fair. Much better than whatever they've got going on this season, I'll say that much. I'm not really sure what the design is supposed to represent. There's nothing on here that tells me what the inspiration is behind the design. But whatever it is, it looks pretty cool. I'm quite a fan of the design that we've got mocked up here. It's unlikely they'll look exactly like this, but whatever it does look like in the end, I think it's pretty decent. So yeah, it's not too bad. We've also got a predicted away shirt as well. This one is very interesting. There's like red and green stripes on either side of a largely off-white shirt. Could look pretty cool, and the cuffs as well to match that. And then the third shirt looks quality. We'll have the T90 pattern, or template should I say, and this is Chelsea's offering, and I think it looks very nice. They've gone for a classic Chelsea badge in the centre. Lovely black, mostly black kit with some blue design elements. Night tick off to the side again, which I don't really like. It should be moved centrally, either above or below the Chelsea logo. But all in all, very solid kit for Chelsea. But Chelsea are going to be sponsored by Ritter Air next season, allegedly. So this is what the shirts could look like with that sponsor on. Yeah, it's not the best, is it? It's not the best. But I think of all the kits, their third shirt is definitely the best. Just need that Nike tick moved centrally, which Nike don't do for some reason. I'll never understand that. If you're making a centralized logo on a shirt, you're going to unbalance it by having another logo on the other side. So just move that centrally as well. It looked much better in my opinion. And this is the alleged City third shirt. It's a largely black kit with some silver design elements and a 3D badge, which I think looks pretty cool. And it's got a nice collar on there as well. You know I love a collar. It's a very basic shirt, to be fair, but it looks pretty decent. I'm a big fan of the silver design elements. And I do like a classic polo collar as well. And this badge looks pretty cool as well, to be fair. A pretty basic shirt from City, but looks pretty good. You know, it's the oil money kit, you know, representing where their wealth comes from. And then move across to their Manchester City rivals in Manchester United. And this is their supposed away shirt. So it's been widely reported for quite a while now that Manchester United were returning to the snowflake pattern for their away shirt. And we can see that in this latest design leak here. It's a lot more visible on this picture actually. You can see they've gone for that snowflake design again, but really just blown it up, made it massive. And to be fair, it looks pretty decent, I can't lie. Looks like the design also continues on the sleeves as well, which is a nice touch. It's a unique take on their snowflake pattern, but I don't mind it. It actually looks pretty decent, and you've got a nice devil badge there as well. This is it on an alleged official shirt as well, which we can see there. And yeah, other shirts that have used a snowflake pattern in the past, plus this away shirt for some reason. Not sure why that's there. But yeah, it looks like a decent kit all in all. A very low V collar there. Not sure what that's about, but it's probably just the way it's hung. Yeah, it's decent. We're then moving on to Newcastle United, and this is their supposed home shirt for next season. And it looks pretty decent, to be fair. It's got a very interesting take on their classic stripes. We've known for quite a while that it was going to be a checker style design, and we can see that in the black and the white stripes of this shirt. I think it looks quite nice, to be fair. I've got the light blue piping across the body of the shirt, as long as a bit of light blue on the cuffs and of course the badge, which I really like. Big advocate of Newcastle using light blue in their shirt design, so very happy to see that return. And it's a nice design, to be fair. But this is one of the latest leaks that we've seen. I'm not sure if this has been confirmed to be fake or not. I know a lot of Newcastle fans weren't happy about this. And when I initially saw it, I actually did quite like the design. I like what they've done with these half-tone stripes. I think it's very cool. But seeing that other design that we've just seen, this one does not look as good. This one is actually quite bad compared to the other shirt we could possibly be getting. Not sure if this has been confirmed real or fake yet. This one is not as good as the other one. I'll say that much. So this is apparently a fake, so, you know, fair enough. They should go with this one, if this is in fact the original design, because it looks a lot better and makes good use of that new template as well. Very good from Newcastle. Keeping with Newcastle, we move on to their third shirt, and it's a tribute to their 97-98 away shirt, I believe, or their third shirt. But either way, very nice. I actually designed a shirt like this in my custom kits video for their away shirt, and it looks like they're doing a very similar thing here. So maybe I'll do a Thogden and take credit for that. Obviously, there were some different design elements in the shirt that I designed and the one that's been mocked up here. The same design idea. This is how it looks with the supposed leaks that we've had from Newcastle. I'm going to take credit for doing it originally, as I did last season, but even that's probably not the case. And then move on to Tottenham and this. Christ, that is boring. But hey, Nike have put a tick in the centre, so it must be fake. And that Tottenham logo is a bit on the piss as well. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, not really sure what's going on here, but it's a very boring shirt. But that's quite run-of-the-mill for a Spurs home shirt nowadays. It's not really that good. Looks a bit better in this render they've created here, but, you know, not that much better. Yeah, look at it, man. I'm not a fan. And I just know that AIA are going to ruin it with a massive red sponsor just slapped on there as well, so yeah, I'm sorry, Spurs fans. It's another boring shirt for you lot. But hey, the logos are centralised at the very least. And then we move on to the Spurs third shirt, and it's another black, almost blackout kit for the Premier League. We've got Chelsea, we've got City, now I've got Tottenham as well. But this one has a bit more design about it, because it's got this little Spurs pattern throughout the design of the shirt, which creates a nice checkered design with a nice little extra design element in there, which really elevates the shirt design as a whole. Big fan of when shirt designers do this. You can see here it says Spurs vertically, which I think was quite nice. Very subtle, but a nice design touch nonetheless for what would otherwise be a very plain shirt. But, you know, a little bit of a design element in there makes it a little bit better. Yeah, it's pretty alright. Here it is on Son again. I think the all black does look pretty cool, so I'll give them that. And then move on to Wolverhampton Wanderers, the last of the Premier League shirts, and this is supposedly their home shirt. And Sudo have been doing quite well with Wolves, because this is nice as well. A very plain shirt, Got this very interesting textured element to it. Not sure what that is. I think it's just the material used to make the shirt. It looks alright. It looks quite plain, and it is. But I'm a big fan of the overall design of the shirt. I think the collar is very nice. And yeah, it's just a very, very solid shirt. Nothing really offensive about it. Doesn't really wow me either, but I'm a big fan of the collar. So get some extra points for that. And then we move on to Real Madrid, and this is basically the confirmed home shirt. We've seen it a lot recently. It's pretty much as you'd expect. Yeah, this is from a supposed unboxing video somewhere on YouTube, I imagine. Yeah, it's a Real Madrid shirt. What really do you expect? It's got a lot more colour than I initially thought. I thought it was going to be a white shirt with the yellow piping, but there's a bit of grey on there as well. So, you know, that's nice. A little extra bit of colour on the shirt. Yeah, it looks okay. Bit of design on the collar as well. Looks decent, and I think that's on the cuffs as well. Yes, decent shirt in it. Nothing to really write home about. I think the previous shirt from 2 seasons ago now was much better, but this is okay. The Real Madrid third shirt is supposedly a blue one, which has this lovely tag, 90 Minuti en el Bernabeu son molto longo. Who said I wasn't Spanish? Apparently it's a famous slogan on the Santiago Bernabeu stands. I'll see it next season when Forest go there, I guess. But this is allegedly what it would look like on Baps. Yeah, it's a blue shirt. What more is there to say? Blue kit with the trefoil and some, you know, white and blue collar and cuffs. Decent. This is the Barcelona shirt. Now, when I originally saw the leaks, I was not a fan of the design, but actually seeing it mocked up, or actually seeing the proper quote-unquote design here, it actually looks a lot better than I'd originally expected. Big fan of, you know, the big stripes and then a secondary smaller stripe running along that. I think it's very nice. The gradient actually looks pretty decent as well. I believe it's similar to a halftone gradient. I can't actually see with these pictures. It might just be a standard gradient, and that's just the material used for the shirt design. Spotify logo should probably be in a different colour, in all fairness, but other than that, very solid shirt. I like what I'm seeing. I like the gradient transitions, how it interjects between the two stripes as well. Very nice. Can't beat their current shirt. That is very, very nice, but you know, it's solid. It's a solid effort nonetheless. And then we move on to Juventus. We've got all of their shirts here. We've got a home shirt, an away shirt, and a third shirt. Home shirt, not great. Don't like what they've done here. Multiple different thickness stripes just placed randomly across the body of the shirt with light grey or like silver or pink. I don't really know. Badge and manufacturer logo that doesn't look good. The away shirt though is very nice. Big fan of this weird pattern they've got going on there. Third shirt, but it's got the cool little pony horse zebra thing and then the trefoil as well, so pretty solid. Not a fan of these weird varying variety of thickness on the stripes, the abstract way they're placed as well. Not a fan of that, and I don't think the Adidas badge or the Juve badge really stand out that well against the body of the shirt. The pink looks nice on the black elements though, I'll give them that. This is the away shirt, which I'm a much bigger fan of. Got this lovely weird pattern across the body of the shirt. It's like some squares and then this weird like liquid pattern across it. Quite abstract but quite nice. The badge and the Adidas logo in white, they work well on the shirt. And then this like yellowy gold greeny sort of Adidas sleeve stripes as well. Works solid. And then the third shirt actually has a bit of design within the body of the shirt as well. It's like some leaves and some vines or something like that. Whatever it is, it looks cool. And then the classic badge and trefoil logo as well. Very solid. Nice cuffs and collar as well, to be fair. Like what I'm seeing with that. All the colours work well together. This is definitely the strongest of the three. And if I were to buy a Juve shirt, it would be this one. Because it looks nice. You know? Simple as that. And then we want Inter Milan, and this is their supposed home shirt. The stripes supposedly represent Inter. Like the word Inter. There's a better picture of it that I'll show you in a few seconds, but I like the Nike tick and the Inter Milan badge being in blue, a lighter blue. I think that looks nice. And the stripes look okay. They're not my favourite design element of the shirt. I don't really like them, but the text they represent, it works. It's just not for me. Yes, this is a better look at it. This is the text that they've gone with. It's in a different font. They've stretched it out, and you can see it better on here. It's supposed to represent Inter like this. If we go back, you can sort of see it. I think it looks pretty cool, to be fair. And then that same font on the back. This is within the collar, it looks like. You've got to rate them for trying something new. It doesn't always come off, and personally, this doesn't do it for me, but I can see why someone would like the design. So, you know, it's hit or miss. All right, moving on to Germany now, and we have this, the supposed Bayern Munich home shirt. Very interesting, I'll say that. So we're back to red and white, finally, and it looks interesting. The main design element is the M shape across the body of the shirt for Munich, who would have guessed. And then it returns to the classic badge colours of red, white and blue. Lovely stars across the top. And a nice little Adidas T-Mobile logo in white to complete the shirt. Very inoffensive. It's okay. Still not perfect in my humble opinion. I think stripes would be the way to go. But, you know, you got to praise them for trying something different. And it looks okay. From the, you know, previous shirt leaks video I did, there were many design possibilities it could have been. I think some of those were better than what we've got here, but it's okay. Nothing to write home about, but looks decent. We then move on to their third shirt, and this is much, much better. Wow. It's a largely black charcoal shirt with some light grey and red design elements. It's a mainly checkered design in the background, featuring the letters B and M for Bayern Munich, if you couldn't guess. Monochrome badge, trefoil logo, and this lovely checkered design on the collar and the cuffs. Big fan of that, and gives me hopes that we could see that on a Fulham shirt coming up as well, as we know that's a design element Fulham have used in the past. But yeah, big fan of whatever Adidas are cooking up here. They're really going ham with their third shirts, and this thing looks lovely. Here is it on Musiala, a little edit. And yeah, it looks pretty nice. Big fan of this shirt as well from 2023, their third shirt. I think that looks lovely. All in all, huge fan of this design. Adidas and Bayern have cooked once again. They normally do. And I'll definitely be looking to get my hands on this shirt at some point in the coming season, because it is, wow, that's all I can say. It's lovely. Then move on to the Klassiker rivals and Borussia Dortmund. And this is the design they've gone with. It looks to be based off of the 93-94 home shirts, which had a very similar design, but adopted and adapted by Puma. Just, doesn't hit for me. This is the original shirt that it's based off of. Looks a lot better. This just doesn't look as good. It's like a cheap imitation of what was a very lovely shirt, and I'm not sure why the Borussia Dortmund badge is all the way up there. It looks a bit strange. I know that's probably the right location for it, but it just looks a bit off, a bit too high. Puma are quite hit or miss for me. I don't like many of their shirts they've made in the past, and while they've gotten better recently, they're just very hit or miss for me. Decent shirt to base the design off of, but still not a good execution in my book. And finally, PSG and their 25-26 home shirt, based off of the Eiffel Tower. We've already looked at this shirt design, had a look at it last time I did a leaks video, but yeah, more pictures have released. I'm a big fan of this design. You've got the most Eiffel Tower centric design across the middle of the shirt as their classic central stripe. Big fan of this. Not a fan of the collar. I have noticed it's one of those asymmetrical collars, which I absolutely hate with a passion. But other than that, it is a very nice shirt for PSG. They normally get very nice kits, and this is another example of that because it looks wonderful. Big fan of the design through the center of the shirt here, being based off of the Eiffel Tower, the quintessential Parisian landmark. It's pretty good. I'll give them that. They get top marks for this. And yeah, that's been my look at the upcoming leaks for the 25-26 season. Some very interesting shirts in the pipeline and some very good designs that hopefully are real. We'll have to see, of course. But I'm looking forward to what we may see in the upcoming season. I know the Forest shirt we've already had a look at. I made a whole video dedicated to that. It looked phenomenal. So hopefully other shirts will be following suit. If there's more European clubs, a lot of nice shirts there that I could purchase if I like them enough. That Bayern shirt is definitely a contender for that. But yeah, what was your favourite shirt in this league? Please let me know down in the comments below. Once again, a massive thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Here's to the next 1,000 and beyond. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.